Powered by WCTV.tv. Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
And we begin with breaking news. A Tallahassee police officer injured, dozens more swarming a stretch of North Monroe Street. Officers are still on the scene right now. Thank you for joining us at 5. I'm Julie Montanaro.
And I'm Jacob Murphy. Our newsroom flooded with calls from viewers saying dozens of police cruisers could be seen speeding down North Monroe. We are expecting a police briefing coming up at about 6 o'clock tonight.
Now, we do have several crews on this story trying to learn more about what happened. Savannah Kelly is on North Monroe Street where the crime tape is up and officers are still working. Savannah, what can you share?
Julie, Jacob, like you mentioned, we know that a Tallahassee police officer has been hurt. That's according to the Tallahassee police. They did not say the extent of those injuries or what exactly happened, but it looks like it unfolded here on North Monroe Street near the Motel 6. Police have been out here investigating for the last few hours. They've been putting down crime scene markers, and at one point we saw police pick up what looked like a handgun from the ground and swab it. They are redirecting traffic here on North Monroe Street and are still investigating the area. It looks like the scene will be active for a little bit longer. We don't know how much longer they'll be out here investigating. But as you mentioned, there is a Tallahassee Police press conference planned for 6 p.m. tonight where we're expecting to get more details about the situation and learn what happened here. We will, of course, bring you those updates live on air and online. For now, reporting live in Tallahassee, Savannah Kelly, WCTV Eyewitness News.
All right, Savannah, we'll look forward to learning more details. Thank you.
All right, as Savannah mentioned, the scene impacting traffic along North Monroe Street, creating lengthy backups earlier this afternoon. That has improved in the last hour. This is the latest look from about 45 minutes ago, half an hour ago or so. You can see at this point some lanes southbound had reopened. This is the view from Lakeshore Drive's traffic camera provided by the city of Tallahassee. You still might want to avoid the North Monroe corridor as your evening commute continues.
Tallahassee police are expected to give an update any moment on an officer injured outside a North Monroe Street motel. The crime tape is still up. The scene's still very active. We're going to bring you that live as soon as the briefing starts. Thank you for joining us at 6. I'm Julie Montanaro.
And I'm Jacob Murphy. Right now, we want to take you to the scene where this happened this afternoon. Dozens of officers are outside the Loyalty Inn in Howard Johnson on North Monroe, close to Lakeshore Drive. Our Savannah Kelly is on the scene. She's been there for several hours. Savannah, what have you learned and what's happening right now?
Yeah, Jacob, Julie, as you mentioned, we have been on the scene for about 3 hours now. Tallahassee police say that an officer has been hurt. We don't know the extent of those injuries. We're not sure how the officer is doing, what condition they're in. We also don't know what led up to that unfolding. But police have been here investigating since around 2 p.m. We saw them putting down crime scene markers. And just about 30 minutes ago, we saw a tow truck pull out and it was carrying a vehicle that had an evidence marker on it. We also saw earlier in the afternoon police pick up what looked to be a handgun from the ground and swab it. Again, we don't know much, but we are waiting on that press conference and we will keep you updated if anything changes here at the scene. But for now, reporting live in Tallahassee, Savannah Kelly, WCTV Eyewitness News.
All right, Savannah, yeah, the briefing's set to start any moment at Tallahassee Police Headquarters. We'll break in as soon as it starts.
All right, we'll do a quick, we'll show the 7-day forecast and we'll toss it on over to Julie and Jacob.
Yes, thank you, Mike. We've been waiting for an update from Tallahassee Police Headquarters. Chief Lawrence Revel at the mic right now to let us know more about an officer injured outside a motel on North Monroe Street this afternoon. Let's go ahead and listen in.
Responded to this location and dealt with an individual who was eventually trespassed and told to leave the location and not return or he would be arrested. One of our officers remained on scene while they were completing paperwork and noticed this subject when he returned.
All right, TPD Chief Lawrence Revel visibly upset at an act of violence committed against one of his officers this afternoon along North Monroe Street. We've just learned that officer injured by his own weapon after a violent struggle with a suspect. Chief Revel did not mention it, but we do have the name of that suspect released by TPD. That's 36-year-old Willis Adams. And He was there trespassing at the Loyalty Inn allegedly earlier in the afternoon, and this officer was filling out some paperwork and happened to see Adams return to the scene.
And we want to mention, too, they're not releasing the officer's name at this point, but they, too, tell us he was shot in his hand. He's stable right now, and he is expected to recover. The chief saying that violence against our officers will not be tolerated. He praised the officer's courage and said, thank God he is coming home. So much more to come on this later this evening. We'll have much more on Eyewitness News at 11 tonight.
Violence in our community will not be tolerated, and especially when it occurs against the men and women who dedicate their lives to serve this community.
A Tallahassee police officer is recovering after a suspect shot him in the hand this afternoon. This was the scene earlier today as dozens of officers investigated the scene of the crime. And thank you for joining us tonight at 11. I'm Zach Dahlheimer. Abby has the night off. This all happened around 2 o'clock this afternoon. It all unfolded at the Loyalty Inn off of North Monroe Street near Lakeshore Drive. Our Savannah Kelly and photojournalist Sam Thomas were on scene all afternoon. And tonight, Savannah is sharing details on the events leading up to the shooting and the man now facing a charge of attempted homicide of a police officer.
Flashing lights and crime scene markers at the scene where Tallahassee police say an officer was shot in the hand with his own gun.
This was a very violent, lengthy physical altercation.
Police Chief Lawrence Revel said it started around 2 p.m. Friday when the suspect Willis Adams was accused of trespassing at the Loyalty Inn off North Monroe Street.
During that struggle, the firearm discharged, striking the officer in the hand.
Revel says Adams initially left when asked by police, but later returned. When police tried to arrest him, Revel tells us Adam attacked an officer. According to Revel, the officer then drew his gun and the two fought over it. According to a police press release, Adams grabbed the officer's gun and ran away. Police say off-duty deputies jumped in to help and arrested Adams. Revel says the injured officer is expected to recover.
I did visit him just a short while ago, again, just thankful to God that he's okay.
Reporting in Tallahassee, Savannah Kelly, WCTV Eyewitness News.
And Chief Revel said he would not release the name of the officer who was shot earlier today. You can find all of our coverage for this story, including more of what Chief Revel had to say tonight, right now at our website, WCTV.tv.